Hello everybody, my name's Anthony Sedlak, Lieutenant with Franklin Fire Department. Also serve on the hazmat team with the City of Franklin. Today we had an opportunity to do some training with all of our hazmat techs. We're doing this for all 3 shifts, so today is C shift, and got an opportunity for all of them to come out and just put their hands on some equipment that we don't normally train with, that we don't always get to play with at the station. First station that we had set up here was our leak tree. Little interesting story about this leak tree. We're very fortunate in the City of Franklin to have partners that love to work with the fire department. Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, right down the street here, we approached them about having a leak tree built for us. They jumped at the opportunity and took some ownership in it and built this for us for free. This is really designed to simulate any type of leak, anything from hydraulic fluid to gasoline to any sort of substance that they might be pumping through any sort of piping. You can see there's a clamp on here, so that's just one example of a clamp that we would use. We also have the ability to pressurize the water or use pressurized air in this system. So again, just different types of leaks that we could have here. There's some pinhole leaks, we can loosen up these unions or really use our imagination on all this. You know, if we're training on pipe leaks like this, we would see this in the industrial areas of Franklin, some of the manufacturing facilities in Franklin that you know this is where we would see that type of piping. There may be some piping similar to this on some of the over the road tractor trailers, but most of the time this is in an industrial setting is where we would see this. Another station that we had set up over here was our plugging and patching station. So we practice plugging and patching of a 55-gallon drum and some plastic drums, just using different techniques, different things that we have, anything from soap to toilet bowl rings, which is just wax, to actually using wooden plugs and wedges to stop some of the leaks. And if you look here, you can see some of those leaks here. So again, here's just an example of a wooden plug that was put in there, and then they put some wax around it just to stop it. This is more of a trial and error just to see what's going to work best for us, what we like to use. On the other side over here was a glove that was stuffed in there, just a normal nitrile glove that we use for medical calls, but we filled it up with some great stuff, some expanding foam to see if we can stop it with that. Something else they did here it's pretty not unique, but kind of a challenge is to what we call overpack these. So to put this drum in a much bigger drum, and some of the challenges with that. This is roughly 400 pounds, 400 to 500 pounds just with water. Some liquids weigh more than water. Some obviously a little bit less. But if we can overpack it and put it into a bigger drum to control it at 400 pounds, then we definitely want to have some good techniques, and so we're not throwing our backs out or injuring ourselves. Make it a lot easier for us. So that's what we did here at this station. A blessing that we have in our backyard is Kimbrough Oil. So Kimbrough Oil Company, based out of Nashville, they had brought us a gasoline tanker that we can train on for the whole month, which is again just a great opportunity for us. So we can walk over here and talk about some of the things that we trained on with this. This is not something that our techs get to see every day. We see these going up and down the road, but to be able to actually get on top and climb and look at the dome covers and practice stopping some leaks on these, looking at the features is something that we get. It's an awesome opportunity.
My name's Alex Schreiner. I'm assigned to Station 6 on A shift here in Franklin. This is a hazmat station. Today we are going over a A-kit for chlorine tanks. What they're working on behind me is a 150-pound cylinder, and they're working on stopping the leaks. So if we have a chlorine tank leaking that we get called out to, they're going to mitigate that problem and stop what's leaking. So they walked up to a tank that's leaking. They are first trying to stop the leak with smaller tools and gaskets. From there, they're probably going to put the hood on and let the product vent out while they're seating the hood so they get a good seal. They'll put the chains on to tighten that hood to the tank and get a good seal. We'll check for leaks and they'll wrap everything up.
Again, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. The guys out here worked really hard this morning, training, getting some hands-on training. and we'll be back out here next Friday. So if you want to check us out in real life, I encourage you to come see what we do.